And welcome, people, to today 93rd podcast, 7 more away from our spectacular 100 podcast. What are we going to do? A lot of reflection, character growth, going to talk into. I don't know. It's going to be something rather interesting. And today we have an interesting group, considering this is like the first time I think we have this type of group on. Congratulations, guy. First time.
Hey.
So let's go to the first one. It's everybody's favorite Gear Dragon, the one who was so groovy in the new episode.
Puns.
Hey there, everyone. I'm the admin of the ChronoJet Dragon page, and I just want all of you to know I'm here. I believe in you.
Okay. Okay, next. We are going to introduce our next favorite dragon, the one who was forgotten but now is back better than ever, supposedly. We don't know. Go for it.
Hey everyone, I am the admin of the Shield Form Dragon page, and yeah, hope everyone has fun.
Okay, next, our general of the insects, the one who follow many, but none of us really follow him. Go for it.
Yo, what up? Evil Armor General Giraffa. What's up, every pony?
Next is our favorite Dark Regular player who made a quick appearance in this week's episode.
Good evening, everyone. I am the administrator of the Tetsu Shinjo page. I hope you're having an irregular day.
And let's give it up and give a good look to the one and only Nice Swag.
Hey everyone. Hope you guys cheer me out in regionals this weekend. So, hey.
And I'm, of course, the one who run this crazy circus, the admin of Asuka, Lukiar, and mi amiga Jaime. And we welcome you to this week's podcast. Are we all hype?
Hi.
Cause
I'm not
yeah.
very
Yeah.
advanced. That's how hyped I am.
Okay, so let's go straight into this week cards. We all finishing up this set of Gear Chronicles, so this is our last week talking about them, and we're going to go from least hype to the most hype. So Chronojet, you're going to be the last.
Oh, thanks.
At least I'd like you know. So to start us off with, let's go to everybody's favorite pirates to talk about his card of the week.
Okay, so the card that I chose this week is the new G Guardian called Interdimensional Dragon Hetero Hound Dragon. So this thing's pretty cool. So it's a generation guard. Its ability is +1 when this unit is placed in Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard with Chronogen, its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and your opponent returns that card to his or her deck, shuffles their deck, and then Superior calls the top card. So, I like this card. Primarily because Gear Chronicle finally has a Denial Griffin, in a way. What else can I say about it? It messes up Deus Ex Machina. It messes up Tsukuyomi. It messes up a lot of things. I like it. It's a good card. And the fact that you don't have to... It can work when you're guarding the Vanguard, too. So, there's that.
Alright, let's go to no other than Tetsu.
I'll admit, this card is really cool, especially for Chronojet specific. The fact that this thing forces your opponent to shuffle their, not only their rearguard unit, but their entire deck, makes this pretty intimidating. Of course, the fact that you call a unit, your opponent gets to call a unit to the top of their deck, makes it kind of, in my mind, it could be a double-edged sword, just speaking from a dark irregular perspective, because all my cards soul charge when they're called. But that's just me. Overall, this is a really cool card. I can't wait to see how the Gear Chronicle community tries to break this. I don't think they will, but it's a really cool card either way.
Alright, go for it, Shion.
This card is pretty interesting. Say the last. I'm gonna like the hopefully it'll be pretty fun to use or to face again. Again, I play cards that what's the word? Plus off of this. So go ahead, return it.
Okay, let's go to the general.
I kind of like it. I like the skill. As the card as a whole, I don't like it at all. Only because now we went back to square one. It kind of low key gave up. I gave up a little hope for the set in general because of this card. Actually,
Okay, let me go. I actually like it. I can see this not only working this against certain type of stackable decks, but for when your opponent is attacking and they still have that rear guard that haven't not attacked, you can return that. This goes good against Spike Bros I learned today, and also go good against Tachikaze, surprisingly. So they won't get to call it back out. I knew Chronojet was gonna get one, and again, can't really say anything considering that a certain defeat flare exists, and that one pretty much still worse than this one. At least the cost is equal, and it could be a good card or a bad card like your opponent. So it's a double-edged sword to me. Chronojet, go for it.
You know, I think I'm the only one that actually sees like a lot of positives in this. Like, I see less negatives in this card. Only because there are some oddly specific support that goes along with this oddly specific G-Guardian. By the way, it's not really a Denial Griffin you get down to it. It's more like a Defeat Flare because you can only use it when your Vanguard's being attacked by another Vanguard.
No.
Let's see.
No,
It says with your Vanguard's a Chronojet.
If you have
no, there was like what was it? Like the first translation I think said that if your Vanguard's being attacked by another Vanguard.
let me give me one moment.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm remembering the original translation of it. I think.
Well, the translation we have now is
That's even better.
Auto Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Chronojet in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Your opponent returns that unit to his or her deck, shuffles his or her deck, looks at the top card of his or her deck, and calls it to rear guard circle.
Okay, that actually got a little better then. Never mind. I was all scared about being a defeat flare. But, no, there's a really silly combo that could be done with this that's kind of dumb. There's a card called Steam Fighter Erningen and Steam Fighter Meshi. And what they do is whenever a rearguard is returned to the bottom of deck, is this a bottom or is it returned to deck in general? I don't fully remember on hand.
Return to deck.
Return to deck, so it doesn't work.
They both countercharge whenever something's returned. And because they don't specify during your turn, you get countercharges off of this.
Alright. Okay.
Which is nice.
It is. Okay, let's go to the next person, and let's go towards Shion. Do you have one?
Yeah, I'm currently looking for it.
General, you're up.
alright, let me get it up real quick. Alright, here we go. Steam Hunter, how you say this? Mbara. I think that's how you say it. So it's when during the bind zone at Generation Break 1, counterblast 1 if you have a Vanguard with Chrono Fang in his name, call this unit to the rear guard circle. Then you may choose one of your opponent's rear guards. If you do, your opponent returns the chosen unit to the bottom of their deck. Then your opponent calls up to one card from their deck with great -1 from the chosen card, call it to the rear guard, and shuffle their deck. So I like the fact that it's a bind zone card, and it also instantly calls to the rear guard. I'm guessing since it's like an act, it doesn't really do it during battle, so that's kind of like a slight minus. But it's I'm trying to think of what the name of that Steam Maiden was that came from the trial deck, the one that minuses 1 whenever it hits the rear guard.
Donnie.
Oh. Yeah, Steam made in Danish.
Yeah. It's kind of like no, it's not. I guess that you can kind of sort of say it's like a slight better one team that you from the Bind Zone,
Mm-hmm.
but it's an overall decent card.
All right. Go for a Chrono Jet.
I'm kind of indifferent to existing because I have a similar issue with the fact that it doesn't activate it's not an auto ability. If it was auto, that'd be hilarious. But it's act.
Mm-hmm. Night Kid.
Uh, hmm. This is for Chrono Fang, right?
Mm-hmm.
This card. Yeah, the weird thing about this card is that it's not a Zodiac Time Beast. At least I don't think so, right?
No, he does not have that.
Yeah. So my only gripe about is that it's not a Zodiac Time Beast. So I'm just thinking about how the um the deck build is going to work when you're using when you're building the deck, because you need Zodiac Time Beast to pull off Deus Ex Machina. But then I guess there are decks that you don't have to build to focus around Deus Ex Machina. So maybe if you're just focused on the Chrono Fang Rebellion, I guess this is a really good card. I'm not entirely sure, but
All right, Xion.
we'll have to see.
Uh, this is a pretty interesting card, nonetheless. Again, seeing how it's both fucking Chrono Fang and whatnot. So yeah.
Testing.
It's not a bad card. When I first saw it, I instantly thought of Steam Knight Mudar.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty top hat guy. Because of its skill, but the fact that it's kind of like Mudar in Danish had a Chrono Fang love child and made it into this card.
I never want
That's kind of what I see in it. Stop thinking bad thoughts, Jet. Get your head out of the gutter.
Well, first thing, I don't know what a gutter is on hand.
Anyways, yeah, coinciding with what Night Kid said, this card looks to be more directed towards a Bind Zone based Chrono Fang deck and not a Zodiac Time Beast deck. It's nice that this card, because of this card, we're seeing a lot more variability in cowbell in Chrono Fang based decks. So I'm interested in seeing where this is going to take the Chrono Fang archetype.
I have to say, considering I did fake Chrono thing this week, this would work in a base that you're not really aiming to hit everything in the sense, more or less you're gonna probably want to build a deck towards Rebellion, as Nike said, and towards to just stack the decks of nothing but triggers. And not bad skill. Overall, not bad. Depending on your build. Remember, people, it is a common. Okay, let's go towards Shion. Do you have one now?
Hold on. My phone decided to want to.
That's you. You're up.
Who's up?
You're up.
Oh, okay. So my card of the week is Extend Mage Dragon. Continuous skill on the rear guard, Generation Break 1. During your turn, if your opponent has one or less rear guards, this unit gets 2,000 power. Auto rear guard, when your opponent's rear guard is put into his or her deck, if you have a face-up card with Chronos Command in your G zone, this unit gets plus 2,000 until the end of turn. So, little background if the card has been pulled up already. This is a grade 2 9k base. So with its skills, this thing can become a 13k base. All that magic number of hitting cross rides, if that was relevant. Overall, it's really cool to see Chronos Command getting more support. And this is a great beater card. Not sure how consistent people are going to run it, just because this is just a pure beater unit. Also, on a side note, this thing looks like Apoc Maker. Like Apoc Maker Jr.
Well,
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I can see it too. Let's go for it. Shion.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool card.
Okay, let's go for it. Night Kid.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the decks that are based around Chronos Command. Primarily because you have to strike Chronos Command in order to use their skills. And also, if you think about it, if you're gonna be building a deck around this, you're gonna be using Gear Eagle, so you're gonna be building a deck purely based around Time Leap as well. So, yeah, I personally don't like it, but I could see the synergy this has with the new stuff. So, yeah, in that regard, I think it's okay.
Let's hear from General.
Boop.
Oh, there we go. I was trying to unmute my mic. Okay. I would probably be more safe. I feel a little bit more safe if we got like a grade 3 Colonel Command, like I thought, like everybody else thought we were going to get. But I kind of agree mostly with Nike on all of this.
Okay, let's see. I'll go. After looking at the art for Epoch Maker and seeing all the dragons behind him, they could actually be him. Actually, huh? Connection. Overall, I agree. We do need a little bit something more to make Cronus Command good, but I don't know. We might not. But this card is a good step in that direction. A beater, considering that Chronos Command is going to attack and your opponent going to block that one, it's good to have something hard hitting afterwards when they drop that hand. Go for it, Chronojet.
You know what? I'm like the opposite on a lot of spectrums here. I was actually super excited to see this card. And it's only because the fact is, this really works well for Evolution if you're running that kind of deck and you know for a fact you're playing against people who aren't smart enough to, get rid of their field somehow. So you may combo this really well, make some high-powered columns, maybe have a Gerewolf, maybe somehow keep this guy around long enough. But you don't actually have to stride in the Chronos Command nowadays as your one of your first strides. You could just Metallica Phoenix him if you run a Chronojet mixed with Gear Eagle in there. I mean, in your also other worst case scenario, you could just be like, I'm just gonna Blizza, just cause that's still a thing. You have options. Like you have more than just going straight in the Chronos Command, which still isn't a bad thing.
Okay.
So I still like this guy, and he does look like Epoch Maker, and he could be one of the background dragons. I like it. Okay, sue me.
Okay.
Don't
Well, objection to that. But okay. Let's see. Ezel. Hi.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay,
Breaking news.
so-
Breaking news, people.
Breaking news.
This
Okay.
is live.
Now,
Breaking news.
so as Detective Ezel, I had to do a lot of investigating to figure out whether Revival Collection was a legit thing. Now, when it broke this morning, it was going around, oh my gosh, this is so cool, but nothing was listed on Bushiroad, which is kind of like, wait, usually when Bushiroad announces a product, they actually announce it instead of it being revealed by a third party. I think I found it from Cardfight Coalition, the page. Anyways, so I went to their site, found a source. Their source was a gaming distribution site in Europe, of all places. So it is a legit thing. I just got the email from Bushiroad, which I think is the fastest I've ever gotten an email from Bushiroad, confirming that yes, Revival Collection is a legitimate thing. Start saving up for it. I'll even put the screenshot here so you can post it on your respective pages in case there was anybody who was doubting it. It is a thing. It is a thing. So prepare for the hype. Reprints are coming.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to that discussion now.
Okay. All right. I got to get back to working on this paper, but you guys have fun. I just wanted to make that announcement real quick. Just sorry to interrupt.
Hi, Senpai.
Okay, thank you.
Back to your regularly scheduled podcast. Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Senpai, come back.
Okay, Shion.
And the pants go back on.
And we go back
Uh,
to.
Okay. My card, right?
Yes.
Okay, my card is Chrono Beat Buffalo.
Yes.
Its ability is continuous rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Zodiac Time Beast on your Vanguard, this unit gets power +2. Plus 2,000. Boost power, the base power is 9k if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think?
Again, it helps again with most of the Zodiac Time Beast support. It's better than nothing.
Okay, let's go for it. Nice swag. What do you think of the buff?
Well, first of all, I like the Buffalo, primarily because it's a Zodiac Time Beast. I have a really huge bias towards Deus Ex Machina right now, and I'm just trying to think of like the most optimal way to pull off this card, because I think it's so cool that you could stack the top 12 cards in your deck. Anyways, but I wish this had more synergy with base Chrono Jet, but looking at things that are now, if you were building a deck around Chrono Jet G, then this card would be a really good card to have in your deck because Chrono Jet G, if I recall correctly, gives the front row power for every
No.
2 face-up copies. Is it not?
No, it's
For,
all
like,
Zodiac Time Beast.
for G? Chrono Jet G?
I think it said
Let me
all
double
Zodiac
check.
Time Beast you control.
Let's double check because I recall it being the front row. Let's
I might
double
be
check
wrong
here.
here because like I haven't been paying super attention to that. Yeah,
Oh, you're right. All your Zodiac Time Beast rear guards.
even better.
For every
Huh.
2 face-up cards, they get 1k power. So, if you have 8 face-up for some reason, or sorry, no, if you had 10
No,
face-up for some reason, this would become a 16k beater. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll go next because it actually does tie into Nikits. We are getting other forms of Zodiac Time Beast in set 9. We already kind of see that with not only the rabbit, but with also the snake. So, just wait for your hype to get more hype in set 9 for Deus Machina. What I like about this guy, besides it being Punch Ibuki, it's actually not a bad card for one that comes from the trial deck. A trial deck card, yes, people remember, this is a trial deck. Are we expecting the best? No. Are we expecting something? Yes. And this is actually something really good. It's always good to have a card that gains power. 11k can make a really big difference, considering if you're running stands or have combos. This guy always good to bring out to gain power. With that being said, go for it, Tessu.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know why she said it like
I
that
don't
either.
high.
I'm scared.
So am I.
That's who hold me.
Anyways. Hold me now. Anyways, no, the Buffalo is cool. The Buffalo is cool. Red Bull gives you wings, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Punched people in the face, made a great meme. But overall, yeah, no, the possibilities in this card alone, in any Zodiac Time Beast variant, is insane. Just because it's an 11k beater. And, other stuff, I can't really say much, seeing that most people have said everything. And just by itself, it's a solid 11k. The best part about this card, though, is it's not Generation Break. I'm going to be honest. I am not a big fan of Generation Break rear guards.
Agree.
Thank you.
Because that is slow.
I don't think anyone is.
Am I allowed to swear for a second?
Goddamn,
Go ahead.
Because Generation Break cards in the rear guard are slow as fuck.
Yep.
I mean, like if you throw them, if you throw them in non-generation break decks, they're slow as fuck. If you throw them in generation break decks, they're still slow as fuck. So the fact that this isn't generation break is fantastic, and like how everyone said so far, tie it in with Chrono Jet G and all those other cards. The combination for power potential is huge. Red Bull gives you wings. Hashtag we punched Ibuki with a bull.
Go for it. Oh my god, General.
I'm slightly disappointed, but I like the effect. But the amount of the destruction that dude pulled off in, I forgot what episode that was, and then that's all. And then like looking at the effect, and that's all he can really do is kind of, I don't know. It's a little disappointing. I was expecting something to be broken, but then again, it is a trial deck card, so I guess I can't really expect that much for it. But overall, I love the artwork, and the effect is pretty good.
Alright, Chronojet, finish him off.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm not disappointed by this guy. Like, okay, so I'm openly gonna say this. I was not here to talk about Chrono Jet G, and if I was going to talk about how much of a power creep he'll provide. But oh my god, this is just proving that I think that Zodiac Time Beast are just gonna end up playing like Gear Chronicles version of Royal Paladin, which I won't mind. Because Time Leap Mechanic was like, here, we're just gonna spam the deck for stuff. But this is providing a necessary power creep, and I like it. It encourages stands, which is nice. It encourages really stupid plays that are probably gonna give you ridiculous sums of power, which is nice. And he punches albino people through. Did he go flying through a statue? I don't remember.
He hit Overlord statue, ironically.
Ah, excellent. Punching albinos through statues. That's perfect. Just what you need to do on your weekends.
Alright. Good card. Time to talk about the one that Chrono Jet gonna get hype, and you only have 2 minutes to get done with his skill and your hype.
Okay, let me just go actually pull him up.
Wait, did we do 2 minutes? Oh, 2:45. 2:45.
I'm gonna go pull up the skill, then I'm gonna go read it, and then I'm gonna hype up and probably gonna get new pants.
You say you're not wearing pants.
I thought Claire's
There's an
sword was the only dragon to wear pants.
There's a very high inconsistency if I'm wearing clothes or not. I mean, I have a scar. Oh, thank you for doing that as soon as I got it. Okay. Thank you for beating me to the punch here. Anyway, the part I chose to talk about today is my possible, and I'm convinced maybe Dran's, Fervor Evolution Beyond Next Stage. Chrono Dragon Gear Groovy. Stride skill. And I'm going to talk about the second skill first, just because that's the... No. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Act. Vanguard. Once per turn. Generation Break 2. Choose a face-down card named Chrono Dragon Gear Groovy from your G-Zone and turn it face up. If you have a heart with Chrono Jet in its card name, choose a auto ability of 2 face-up Gear Dragons from your G-Zone, and this unit gets all the chosen abilities until the end of the turn. Act. Vanguard. Once per turn. Where else would it be? Generation Break 3. Soul Blast 1, and choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up. This unit gets plus 5,000 power. I called this. I'm sorry if I got a little loud there. I called this ability, and I was excited about it. Like, this is amazing. The combinations are technically super limited, but also extremely viable. You're going to probably flip up you're going to copy next stage, get a restander out of the Chrono Jet Heart of yours. But you can combine it with so many other units. Like, you could just go full ham and Ragnarok it and make it so they can't guard using zeros and have a crit. You can end up being like, I'm just going to do a Chronos command on you. If I hit, I get rid of your rears. You could be freaking insane and be like, I'm going to combine it with Mystery Flare. If I hit, I get a chance of repeating my turn. I probably won't have the counter blast for doing next stage, but who cares? Then you have other options like Epoch Maker, Lost Stage,
or my least favorite, Bind Time. I said it. I don't even like Riding the Clock, but I like him more than I like Bind Time. Too expensive. But yeah, it's really amazing. It combos extremely well with Chrono Jet G. Like, if you do the Ragnarok thing, hypothetical situation, go into Metallica Phoenix, unflip Ragnarok, go next stage, you have 4 face up already. Gear Groovy flips up a copy of himself, so you already have 6. Then you end up doing Ragnarok and next stage, that's 2 more. You have 8 face up, and that's 3 stride turns in. Plus 20 to the Vanguard, plus 4 to all your Zodiac Time Beast. Have fun with that knowledge. I'm sorry if I went over time. I was super
Actually,
hyped
you
for
got
this.
5 seconds left.
Oh, shoot, what am I? Oh, I know how to end that. No, I'll wait for as my last comment. Okay, you go. Choose somebody.
You're done.
There.
Alright. Let's go with Nice Fact. I really want to hear his opinion first about this guy.
When I first heard about Groovy and I saw its effect, I thought, oh my god, this is amazing. I don't need to have 4 Chrono Jet next stages anymore. But then I found out that its cost, or the ability still requires you to pay cost. And I just thought, man, I still need to get 4 next stages. Great. uh, I also learned that its cost to get the 2 abilities required to flip itself. So now the one downside about having Gear Groovy is that you don't have room for tech cards anymore, like Fate Rider or 2 Metallica Phoenixes or other stuff. I mean, if anything, you can't even play Revolution as effectively anymore. At least I don't think so, because you would need to play 4 next stages and then 4 Gear Groovies to make the card worth it. So you get technically 3 next stages. What else is there that I need to point out? The fact that right now the only really good cards to target for Gear Groove's abilities are Next Stage and Chronos Command kind of hurts. But Gear Chronos School is still getting more support because, Vanguard needs to evolve. So as time goes on, Groovy is going to get a lot better. So this card is very good. I highly recommend everyone to look for 4 of this and 4 next stages. So spend your money.
Alright. Shion.
Yeah, this is a pretty good card. I'm terrified by this. A lot.
Okay. Let's go to Tetsu.
Overall, this is a very good card. Yes, the ability to mimic other cards is insanely good. I'm just seeing all the possible combinations. Am I going to what Night Kid said about the 4 needing 4 Chrono Jets? Personally, I don't entirely agree with that. Mostly because I'm thinking from a budget perspective. And if I can get my hands on 2 Chrono Jets, Chrono Jet next stages, I'm just going to abuse Wakey Wakey. Also,
Right.
on the note of budget, I mean, using this card in combination with the other cards, Ragnarok, Meta Pulsar, what else was there? Apoc Maker, Lost Stage, like those aren't necessarily bad. They're nice on-hit pressures and skills of the like. So that's really cool. Again, the most optimal play is definitely the Chronos Command next stage play, which was highlighted in this week's episode, which we will talk about later. But overall, the possibilities with this card in general is pretty cool. And the fact that its ability is an act just makes it a lot more easier to set up certain abilities. So I mean, like, hey, I could honestly just flip up 1 next stage using his GB3 skill, and then boom, do it again. And then just wakey the hell out of everything.
Alright. Let's go for a general.
I'm not going to say much about it because if I do, I'm going to spend so many hours on it. But I hate it with a passion. And honestly, it ruined the whole set, in my honest opinion.
Guy.
Alright.
Let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Yep, my turn. Okay, so it's the act ability. One turn only, Generation Break 2. Get Gear Gooby face up, and then with Conjet Hard, you get to choose 2 auto skill from 2 Gear Dragon in G Zone. Question to the Chronojet. Is the new stride from the trial deck, is it a...
It is an auto.
It is an auto. And is it
It is also a Gear Dragon. It is also Zodiac Time Beast.
Can I use it with it?
Yes.
Do this mean that going back to Gear Groovy is going to be more better than it was before?
Theoretically, yes.
Okay, cool. Also, I like the Sur effect. You get to flip up another one face up, and he gains 5k. But what I really like about this skill is the combination you can make with your G Zone. Yes, am a person who don't have many gear units with Stride. My best one is being next stage. Only have 2 of him. But I also play Ragnarok, which, unlike Chronojet, is my favorite. It is so cool. Wanna face me with him? Anyway, what I like about this is you could combine it. The combination, like everybody said, is going to be crazy. And we know that Gear Chronicle, and with the set that we're going to be talking about, and with set 9, we know that there's going to be more Gear Dragon that's going to make him insanely crazy, as Night Kid said. Is this a good card? Yes. Will you get it right away? Do it, because as soon as we get more stuff for Gear Chronicle, this guy is going to be raised hype with hit price in no time. And that with this card, we'll end this weekly card. Hope you guys like it, and we'll see you next week.